Okay, let's get into how an only animal foods or only meat diet actually completely turned my life around. And honestly, it saved my life. Yeah, so oh, as long as I can remember, actually, I struggled with my gut and like gut issues, IBS, and also mental issues such as anxiety and depression. I was always the shy kid in class, right? I had no confidence, didn't believe in myself, kind of just mostly kept to myself and struggled with talking to others, had a lot of anger in me as a kid. And I also, like, as I got older, I started gaining quite a lot of weight. I became the fat kid in class as well, which definitely, of course, didn't help with my confidence. And yeah, of course, you have ups and downs in life, but it never really got better, right? It just kept building up and getting worse. And especially towards the year 2023, that's where everything like hit the lowest point for me. It was actually that I got into this whole calorie counting thing because I wanted to lose some weight. I thought, oh, if I get that six pack, all my problems are going to be gone. I'm going to be confident and happy with what I see in the mirror and stuff. And honestly, like, in the short term, I did actually start feeling a lot better. I did. I was more happy with what I saw in the mirror. I actually started feeling a lot better, but it only lasted so long. Eventually, I actually started getting even worse than I was previously before I started eating better. And during this whole calorie counting thing, I was pretty much eating a so-called healthy, balanced, plant-based diet. That's practically what it was, like a low-fat, high vegetable and fruit diet, like Greek yogurt, lean protein, a lot of vegetables and stuff. The stuff they say is healthy. And I wasn't eating junk. I wasn't drinking really. I had already cut out seed oils as well. We had switched over to real using real butter in my house. And yeah, but eventually I did actually just start feeling even worse after the period of feeling a little better. Um, I got so like severely depressed and my IBS was building up to something really bad. Like my idea of feeling full, I guess, was having putting so much volume into my gut that I was inflamed and like bloated like crazy, just feeling awful and in pain. That was my idea of feeling full. And I also like sat on the toilet for hours every day just to try and get something out the other end. And yeah, when it comes to the mental stuff, I was so anxious. Like I started treating people very poorly. I started isolating myself. I started cutting people out of my life. I just kept to myself, like kind of just stayed in my room all day, wandering around every day, just feeling lost, having no direction in life, right? Just feeling out of control, not knowing what to do, just, yeah, feeling stuck, really. And I just, at this point, thought there was nothing I could do with it, that, yeah, this is just the life I got, and I'm stuck with it. I gonna have to live like this forever. And I thought I had, yeah, a couple of different really bad thoughts in my head. Like, for example, I always walked around thinking that I'm not going to be able to make it past 30. I'm not going to be able to handle it. Life. And I honestly, at this point, I didn't want to be here anymore, actually. It was that bad at some point. And I went to sleep just hoping, actually, honestly, that I wouldn't wake up the next day. And I was making plans of how I was gonna get out, right? But yeah, um, late summer that year, 2023. I hit my turning point. I hit my moment of desperation where I was almost forced to make a change. Like a lot of people end up doing this carnivore thing, right? We hit a rock bottom moment where we have to do something, right? And for me, that was getting or experiencing the worst IBS attack of my life. I was so bloated, inflamed, didn't sleep for days, felt so awful. And I just thought to myself that, you know what, I can't keep living like this. I have to make drastic changes. And just logically in my head, since it was my gut, I just thought it has to be something I'm eating. I was thinking maybe it's something I'm allergic to, something like that, right? That I'm not tolerating so well. And I started thinking, is there something I ate that day? I had this big flare up that I hadn't had in a while. And I traced it back to, oh, yes, an apple. I hadn't had that in so long, and I had it that day. So a couple of days later, I actually tried a little piece of apple again, and it came back. So from this point on, right, there went like a primal switch almost, right, off or on, I mean, in my head, where I just started really connecting the dots, being completely in tune with the signals, the messages, I guess, I'm getting from my body, and just deciding to listen to every single one of them, right? Just all the instincts that I'm getting, just listening to what my body is telling me. And I went through a period of probably about 2 months where I just eliminated foods, right? Cut them out and then tried putting them back in to see how I reacted. I really tried to just listen to or just pay attention to what actually happens when I eat this thing and how do I feel when I cut this thing out and all that stuff over 2 months. And I just, at this point, I've actually never even heard about the carnivore diet. I had no idea about this thing existing. I was just trying this elimination process on my own because I wanted relief from my gut issues. And what I noticed during this whole process was every single time somehow that I cut out plant foods, I actually started feeling better. I wasn't feeling so much discomfort in my gut. And it wasn't actually only my gut. I started feeling the mental side of everything actually clearing up. My mental clarity kind of came back, or if I ever really had it. I don't know, that's a different question. But yeah, I started feeling a lot better mentally and physically, and a lot more stable in general. And yeah, it kept going for about 2 months. Every single time it seemed like when I cut out plants, I just kept feeling better. And when I put them back in, I felt worse again. And yeah, towards the end of this whole process, I only actually had an avocado left. And one day I sat down with my meal, right? Some ground beef, eggs, and butter, and then this avocado. And what happened? I had this when I went for a bite of this avocado, right? For some reason, I had this visceral reaction inside of me. I just went, ugh. It tasted completely awful to me. It tasted like poison. Like something wasn't right. Like it tasted chemically and just, yeah, not good. And I decided, you know what? At this point, I've decided during this whole process that I'm going to listen to what my body is telling me. So this is a sign my body's telling me you're not going to eat it. So I threw it in the trash. I actually did. And I spit out the piece I had in my mouth. And from that day on, I've been carnivore. And at that point, actually, I didn't know about the whole carnivore thing either. And I can tell you the story of how I came to find out about other people doing this. It was actually, so of course, this whole period, because of my mental state being so bad, it's kind of a blur, right? But when I've been trying to think back, I've come to the conclusion that about 3 days in, something like that, into being fully carnivore, I just woke up that day, right? I felt incredibly good. So much energy, like infinite energy, and like this whole plastic wrap almost, like the brain fog and depression and anxiety and stuff that I'd had for so many years. It suddenly just lifted. It was completely gone. All my mental and physical issues, like the gut too, it was at rest. Like I finally had relief. I just felt so incredibly good. And I just like that day when I woke up, I had a great night of sleep too. And I just got right up from the bed. I just felt like, well, I have to do something. I feel so good. Like, well, anyone want to do something? And I just went straight out the door. I just started walking, went for a walk in the morning and just had to do something. And that day because I've been so isolated, right? I didn't really talk to people or anything like that, not even my parents. But I just had this feeling, you know what? I'm going to go call my parents. And what happened was when I was talking on the phone with my mom, she started telling me, or I started telling her, like, so I've been doing this thing, like experimenting with my diet, and this is what I'm doing now. And yeah, I don't know what's happening. I don't understand that, but I'm feeling so incredibly good. Like things I used to struggle with, they're just suddenly gone out of nowhere, right? And I don't understand what's happening. And so what she told me after that was, yeah, you know what? Because she goes to Pilates, and she started telling me that a lot of people in that uh, community actually do this sort of low carb, keto, and even carnivore diet for their health and stuff, and say they feel amazing doing it. And also, she had seen people on the internet, social media doing it. So that's the point, actually, pretty early, that I found out, wow, a lot of people are actually doing this on the internet. And this was about 20 months ago. And now I'm still doing this thing and feeling the best I ever have. And I don't see any reason why I would ever like go back to how life used to be. And I don't feel the need to reintroduce anything. This is completely sustainable for me, right? My thought, I guess I can put it this way, right? I've fought so long to be here, and now all I can think of is I'm never going back. I love my life. And yeah, now I'm just out here sharing my story, right? And hoping it reaches someone who really needs to hear it. And what I've done recently, actually, I guess I can get into that too. I've written an ebook on the carnivore diet that's supposed to be I hope it's a good guide for anyone on the carnivore diet or considering it, or even if they haven't heard about it before. It's set up in a way where I go through like the problems with modern health and how we actually got here, like the misinformation and all that, and then laying the foundation afterwards of the whole carnivore diet thing. What is it? What is it not? And why are we actually we humans, why are we carnivores? And then lastly, I give people some advice on how to actually apply it and make it work in your own life and stuff. And then also in the end, I say, if you need some extra guidance, I've actually started to coach myself. So if you need that, you can actually contact me and we'll talk further about that. And currently I'm actually working on getting certified as a carnivore coach. It's like a program that's internationally recognized, and I really enjoy doing that. And I'm looking forward to helping people, not only just telling them how this has changed my life and like educating people on why it works and how it works and all that, but also being able to help people get to where I am as well. It's just so fulfilling doing that. And if other people want to get certified as a carnivore coach, just get in contact with me and I'll point you in the right direction. And I think that's a great place to just end this video. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video. Like and comment if you enjoyed this stuff, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more. Thank you.